everyone, another live C++ programming session. So what we're going to do today? I would say just a little bit practice, right? Just a little bit practice. So what we're going to practice, I'm just going to do an exercise again, and then I'm just trying to use classes and other implementation for the problem. So I would say let's go. Let's dive into it. One thing first, I just want to practice a little bit more because we learned already a lot, and I think I have to practice more. Otherwise, I will just gonna lose the knowledge. If you're getting my point, right? So okay, let's dive into the program. That was the thing what we did last time. It was actually not that complicated, if you see that. So we had like just the std array, and what we learned also, if you have like the std array, it is better to use the std array if you have like a fixed size of an array. By the way, please correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm only like how many? Or I'm 4 months into C++, I guess, right? It's 4 months already. It's yeah. So it's good to use std array if it's a fixed size. Otherwise, it's better to just use a vector. Here we have created the object test, and now we're just creating an array from type string, and it has the size of 6, and it's really good to know if you're comparing that to C-style array that the size of x is not included. No, it's including, it's actually, the size is 6 plus 1, right? Because it's including the /0 thingy. So it's a little bit different from the sizing if you're comparing it to the C-style array. And you can see we have Thomas at bam.de, then we have Frank Müller, frankmuller.de. So the thing what we want to achieve last time was actually that we're going to check this address if we have an @ So we just validate, we're just saying, okay, this email address is okay if in this string actually there is an @ right? And how was actually my solution for this kind of problem? It was like, let me check. We have something like check, right? We just created a class check, and then we say check, and then we have like std array, and then the string. We did like a reference for that, and then the container, and then we just initialize it. Sorry. And we just initialize this here with data container. And nothing special, right? And then we just go through this container size array. And probably what we did, we keep counting up. We have a fixed position, right? You can see what I'm doing here, ODX. And we're just saying +3. Why are we going to say +3? Because it's always +3, right? So if you have +3, we will be always on the 3rd position here. And then we just going to say we have this kind of array on the 3rd position. We want to check actually if this string have an @. And that's actually what we're doing, right? So we have like ODX, and then we have IDX. IDX, we're going to start from 0. So we could just iterate through that, right? Is it called iterate? Is this correct? If I'm going to say something like this? Probably it is, right? Yeah. What we want to do today for practice, this implementation is not the best one, probably. There are several others, implementation what we could do. We started yesterday, last time with structs, and then, I figured it out. Actually, I need in a constructor. So we can do it over a construct, and we could just define an object that contains the first name, last name, and the email address. And then we can say, okay, we're going to check then always the email address, right? So we can fill up then a vector from type. Actually, the goal should be that we're going to fill up a vector from type check, for example, right? Or email address or whatever, right? So we want to just create our own object, and we want to define it, and we want to make a constructor, and we want to check if it's like the email address, if there is an @ or not. We just want to validate. Is how it called? I don't, sorry guys, sometimes my English is not the best one. It's most of the time not the best one, but don't tell anyone.
Validate.
Validate, right? So we want to just validate for the ad. And that's what we want to gonna do. So, okay, should we, maybe for practice, we completely starting from 0? I think it's really good, right? Because, yeah, we're just gonna start completely from 0 here, so we can see, bam. So we're starting with our include, and then we have our IO stream. Input output stream, by the way, then we have here our main. So and then that's it, right? So we can just test if everything is working first. And we have cout, hello world, our standard stuff, right? And then we have this here. So done, right? So let's see. Should work. Okay, we got our hello world. So this is working, right? So the thing is now we have to create our vector. We're not gonna use this time an array because the size can be different, right? It depends on the input or on the data. So what we're gonna do next? The next thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna initialize our vector, and for initializing our vector, we need to include the vector. So we're gonna do this. So finished here, and then we're just gonna say stud vector. And then we need the type, right? What will be the type? The type will be a string, and that's it, right? It's really interesting that we not have to implement. Maybe someone can answer just in the comments below why I not have to include in this, like in this scenario, the string, right? Is it already in the input-output stream? Probably it is, and that's why I not have to implement it. I don't know. Please let me know. So we're gonna initialize it, and we're saying again, like the first name is Thomas. The last name is Müller. And then we're gonna say Thomas.Müller. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do it like this. Thomas Müller.de, right? And then we have it, and then we wanna have the second name, and that will be the Peter Hans. And then we're gonna say the email address is peter dot not with set. So Peter at Hans dot, let's do like Bauer. I like this more. So we're going for Peter Bauer .de. Something like this, right? So we have this, we just created this kind of vector, and this should work. So now we're gonna check, next thing what we're gonna check is the next thing what we're gonna check is if this is initialized correctly. So we wanna print it out. I mean, for this we can just include a function, and we're gonna call it from type void. It will be, and it will be like print vec. I will call it, right? Something like this, and the input argument will be and stud vector from type string, and that's it, right? That's what we want to have, and that will be this is not correct here. We need here, just gonna call this data, and we want to have the data here inside that, and it should actually work. Yep. So this is okay. And it should be also const, right? The question is, should be const first or last? I will let it like this for now. That should work already. Okay, then we're gonna say, okay, we're going for a range-based loop. So we're going to say auto reference element every element, and then from data. So we iterate through that thing here. So we're opening it up, and then we're just gonna print it out, and then we want to print out the element. Every element, correct. That's it, and then we want to have here another console output. So that should work. Now we have that, and then we can just call the function printVec, right? And it needs the argument from type std_vector string. And this should work. So let's see. Yeah, you see Thomas Müller.de, Peter Bauer.de. So this is working. It's initialized correctly. The next thing what we have to do then. I mean, we can use this for test. I really like this, right? So we have, this will be our input. We print it out. It's working. I want to know, do we have it like, to do it like this? Or we have to play the const probably before it make no sense. Oh, it's also working before, really. Wait, let me read this up quick, because I'm not 100% sure where I have to place the const. So it can be also after the So that's really interesting. When you define a const variable in C source code file, you do as const. You just sorry for the German. You just place it before the, for example, integer or whatever, right? You can then use this variable in another module as follow: extern const int. Okay, you will have it before. So you will just have it before. That's a little bit weird if you're doing it like this, but I mean, it's okay. A lot of people just argue about why is const not predefined like this. That everything is like const, and then you have to just do it like unconst. So this should work still. Let me check. Yeah, it's still working, as you can see. So next step is we want to create a class, right? The class will call data probably. What could be the name of the data type? Email object, or I don't know. Let me think. What could be the name? Fuck it, I would just call it email data. It is what it is. So we're gonna call it email data, and then we can just opening it up, right? Wait, why is this not working? Well, am I? Do we have here a problem? Maybe the class has to be. This declaration has no storage class or type specifier. So we're gonna do it now. We're just calling it email data. Something like this. That makes no sense, right? It has to be like this. But why this is not working? What the? So funny how you... Am I not able to just create in class? Guys, what am I missing? Email data is not a word. Just need the class. I'm not able to initialize the class anymore. Nice, Sven. Good job. Oh man. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. Problem solved. Then we will have public. Right, correct. We're gonna have public and the other one will be private. Boom. Done. So which kind of data we can just declare if we have our object email data later. How will be the object defined? The object will be defined with the first name, last name, and the email address, right? So let's do it. And we're gonna say string, and then we're gonna say it's data. It's the first name, right? First name. And then we're string last name. And then we have string email address. Bam, done, right? So now we need our constructor. As we know, constructor has to have the same name. And then we have it like this, boom, right? This is our constructor. So now we need like the input, and that will be the data, and the data is the std vectors to string. So that will be our input then. Will it be our input? That's the question. So now we can just put in the full vector, or what we could actually also do, we could say the input will be just in string, right? That's what we could do. Just like for Thomas, we're just doing a for loop or something, and then we're doing a pushback, and yeah. Yeah, I think we can do it like this. Let me prove it that it's gonna work. We can say then, okay, it will be from type const for yeah, we're not gonna change anything, so it will be const. And then we're gonna say, please give us the std string, and that will be first name. Right, that will be the first name. And it will be a reference. So we're gonna go for the reference, and then we're gonna do the same thing for the next thing also. So we're gonna say std string reference last name, and then we're gonna do the same thing again. Std string reference, and it will be the email address. Bam. So the next thing what we have to do is then we have to initialize it, and we're gonna say first name is first name. Right? That should work. Hello? Oh, it's the other way around, right? It is the other way around. First name, and then we have here the first name. I don't know if this is even the best practice if you're doing it like that, right? It's because it's misleading, kinda. Maybe you have an advice for me to get better in naming. So then we have the last name. Last name. Last name. Then you have email address. Email address. Boom. So it's initialized, perfect. That should work. That's fine, it's looking really good. Here we have a problem, it seems. No, it's fine. Okay. So we have our object, right? So now we should check. Now we have to fill up the object. So that if we have this vector, the vector of data from the data here, right, could be also bigger. Now I have to fill it up like with a for loop. And then I have to do always a pushback. Huh, that's interesting. Let me think quick a second. So what we actually need, the goal is that we're gonna have a vector from type email data. Right, that's what we're gonna do. And then we call it like email data object. That's what we're gonna do, right? Exactly. And then we have to like doing the pushback to this thingy. So we're gonna have a vector from type email data. And then we have to push back to the vector from type email data objects from type email data. Correct? Should be correct. I mean, yeah. So let's do this. I'm gonna say we have a 4, right? Would be like a range. No. What will be the size? It will be the size of the data. Correct. So we're gonna apply integer ODX0, and the statement will be if ODX0 is smaller than data size, then we're not gonna iterate through this thingy. Huh. We need 2 for loops, correct? I think so. We need the outer and inner loop. Because the first thing what we inspecting is like that we say, okay, we're doing it like for this 3 elements. So we need like ODX plus 3. And then we have another inner loop. And then we take every element, the first, the last name, and the email address, and just push it back. This kind of combination, because we know that actually the email data is kind of defined with first name, last name, and email address. Correct? Or am I wrong? So we will have the outer loop that's going to this position. And then we're pushing back this kind of elements. Because that will this thing will be one object. And that thing will be another object. So then we would have like something like ODX plus equal 3. Huh. I don't know if I really like this. Because you have to also be aware of if we have only 3 elements, right? We don't want to run out of the range if the data is less, but we can handle this later. But I don't know if this is even a good approach if you're always saying you're gonna handle this scenario later. Maybe you're gonna forget it, you know. I think I don't know if this is actually a good practice. And then how I set it, we need another one, and then we say integer idx 0. We're gonna start from the same position, and then we're gonna say odx, and what we're gonna say now, data. What we're gonna use now? It's idx. It's the inner loop. Okay, what should be the statement then? -3 or what? Huh. Did we need a second for loop? Let me think quick. Let me think. Or did we just need a if statement? I mean, if you're starting like this, we know ODX, and if he's saying, okay, we're gonna use data, then we would have like this object, right? But what we not want to have now, if we like on this position, we want to have these 3 objects here. This will get always resetted, right? Can we just say 3? If you could say just 3, because it will be 3 times, like. So we will have like 0, 1, and 2. And it's gonna hop out. But is this even correct? Probably not. Probably not correct. Why am right now at the moment like kind of stuck? Maybe I have like. I think there is like a I think there's like a logic problem here. Okay, what do I want to try to achieve? Let's go back, right? If you have a problem like this, I'm just gonna say that we have this data size. So we know the data size. We want to iterate through that. So we say always +3. So we're gonna do this +3. Make that sense. Not really. That makes no sense, I guess. So I just want to do 3 elements. I think it makes sense. What am I missing at the moment? We have 0 and okay, let's see. Okay, we're doing like the outer loop only twice. So we are 1 time in. So what does this means? The inner loop will get resetted. Does that even make sense? I could say the inner loop is the outer loop. So I would have always the correct size and the correct starting. I could do this. Correct. So that would be then always correct, even if I'm saying +3. If I'm gonna iterate through that. And then I could say, just want to do it 3 times. And I could say 3 plus ODX or something. That makes sense, right? Because that would be the size. Is it not more like +2? No, that's okay because of that one. And we would just call it up. And then we would say something like inner loop, pre-increment. We're gonna increment it up. That should actually work, right? So we're doing it for the first element, for the second. I don't know. I don't know. We need. This is. I'm overthinking this thing. Nah, that make no sense. I think this make no sense. Because what we can do actually, we could do, we can just create an email object, right? And for creating one, yeah, okay, I got it. So we're gonna create an email data object. We're just gonna call it email data, right? Not email data object. Or objects, it's more correct. So then we have email data object. That's what we have. And we're doing the pushback. And what we going? Can I push back multiple items? Probably I can, right? This is now not defined, right? Why I'm struggling here, boys? Okay, I can't push back that. But what I have, so okay, make it simpler. So what I have access to the data because I can say ODX. So we have the 0 here, right? And then will be that ODX. So that's data 1. And data 2 will be data ODX plus 1, right? And then we have data ODX plus 2, right? So these thingies I have. So interesting. I have these things and I have to create with these things my email data objects. And I can do this, right? I can do this. So that means gonna do email data. Boom. And then I need the input for that, right? No, I'm just doing email data. And then I'm putting this stuff here in. Bam. 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 And then I have to give it a name. Is this working like this? No. I'm confused. If I have normally a class like email data, then I wanna what I'm missing, I mean, this is not enough, right? That can't be enough. Because we want to create an object. Why I'm stuck? What am I missing? Can you give me please a hint? Why I can't say it now, okay, I want to give it the name object. Oh, that's my mistake, right? So, right. So we have something like this, and we're going to say email data, and then we're going to create the object, and we call it object. And the object will be need this kind of data, and that's it. Right? So we created the object with the data what we need. And then we have to do a pushback to email data objects. And we can do this with email data objects dot pushback. And we're going to push back our object. Bam! Now we have it. Hey, CO3F001. How you doing, man? I want to thank you a lot the last time for helping me before my exams. You want to hear a funny story? So we have different topics, and I would say the exam was kind of fair, because every topic gave you the same amount of points, and before the last semesters, it was always like you could do like 4 topics, and one topic got like the half of the points or something like that. And if you're lucky, it was your topic. If you're unlucky, it was the topic where you're not really strong in it. And we did like in the evening before my exams, we did like the bitwise right shift and left shift, and we had like also the option to vote out topics. Actually, everyone just voted out a topic bitwise right and left shift. But still, thanks a lot to help me to get better in this kind of topic. I mean, so that should be now correct if I have it like that, because I'm just filling up the email data objects, right, with this vector, and this should then work, right? Yeah. But still, it was a little bit weird to write everything on paper. We need like an if statement, right? We need the if statement because we could be out of range. So if we have only 3 arguments and doing like +3, then I mean, we'll fix it later. I don't know if it's good if you're always saying I'm gonna fix it later. probably you're gonna forget it. But there should be probably an if statement involved. Because otherwise we would... There's so many options where I could implement it. I could just do something like a size, and the size would shrink. I can do it like that and can test if that is some... So we're doing it one time. So we have the position 0 first, and this is correct. Then we starting on position 3. That would be that one. Like in my example, that would work. I mean, let's test. No, there's a mistake, right? Let's see. Not need that one. It seems at least it's working. So we're filling up the thingies. The next thing what we can do is I want to print it out. So we're doing again a range. Can I print it out with my... No, it's only for the vector. Only if I would create a template here. I mean, it would be also good practice, to be honest. Maybe I should do it. Then we have that one. And we're gonna say, okay, auto. Let's see if auto is gonna work. Auto elements. And then we're gonna say every email data. Is this even working? No, of course not. It is. Oh, nice. I don't know if I'm printing it out. Is this working? Probably not. How should this now work? Yeah, it makes no sense because it's not, yeah, we have no operator that's matched the thing, right? So I can't print it out if I have it like that. Because it's not defined. And if I'm gonna define this... Wow. I just realized even yesterday I have to learn, I have to practice a lot of time, like I have to practice a lot, like the topic rule of 5. It's not that easy, right? If you not have enough practice. Because now I have to do an assignment. Is there a workaround? Let me think. So I have, Default, is there a workaround? Good question. If I have auto elements, then I'm gonna take every element from email data objects, because I just want to print it out, but now this is not going to work because it's not defined. If you probably would say then define it. Funny. To be honest, sometimes I don't know if even object-oriented programming is like so good. I mean, okay, yeah, if you have to always define the rule of 5 or implement the rule of 5 or something like this, I think things can get really fast messed up. So I have my object, and how I can print out my object. I mean, I can do it. Actually, I not have to do it like this. I can print it out inside my thingy here. Correct. So I can make a printout function. And we can say, so, okay, print. And what will be the input parameter? For now, we let it like this. And then we're going to print out. What are you going to print out? Yeah, like first name, last name, and email address, right? That's how we're going to do it. So we're going to do this for every object. And we know the objects are cout. And then we're going to do it for first name. I mean, this is, I can do it better. I can just do last name and email address. Something like this, and then I could have something in between. Something like this, right? And then I can say, okay, if I'm creating my objects, a new object, I can check if it's valid. And I can say object, please, and print. That's it. Right. And that should work. Peter Bauer. Exactly. So now we can even see that we're gonna do it only one. Thomas Müller. We're missing Thomas Müller. The question is why? We should not miss them. Because we're starting with ODX is equal 0. We have him already. Yeah, okay. Everything is working as expected. So we have our Thomas Müller, Thomas at Müller.de, Peter Bauer, Peter at Bauer.de. So this is correct. So we checked it. So this is working. So we can work with this kind of objects. Next thing is we want to validate it, right? How are we gonna do this? This is our check thingy, the print function. The question should be the print. The print should be in private, right? Should it be? No, if it's in private, I can't use it. I'm not able to use it, correct? Yeah. Okay, this makes sense. So I have everything. That's also why you're going for object-oriented programming. It's like, yeah. And then we want to have something internal. And that is like to check if the email address has an @ So this is kind of the goal, right? That's what we want to try to achieve. So we're going to say, okay, void. And then we call it check. And we're going to open it up. So and then we're going to say, okay, we have the input email address. And we want to iterate through this thing. And check if we going to have an @ And how we can do this? We can do it with a for loop, and we can just use then the email address for the size, because we know it's a string. there should be also size, and then we can just say we take in ODX, integer ODX equals 0, and then we gonna say ODX smaller, email address dot size, and then we're gonna say plus plus pre-increment, and then we're going for the check. So we have the if statement. If email address ODX is equal an add, right? Something like this. Then we're gonna opening it up. If we have this case, we found email address is valid. Email address from, can we have the object? First name. Is valid. Else unvalid. Can I use it in here? I mean, this isn't private. Oh wait, I'm a little bit confused. How can we use it this now in, because I have to call it then otherwise outside Do I have to call it inside a constructor? I have to, right? So I have to do something like check. So I'm just calling that one every time if I'm creating the object. Let's see if this is gonna work. Oh. There is something wrong. Wait. This is really interesting here. Why I'm getting so much text? Ah, okay, makes sense. Because of that one. So email address from Thomas is valid. Thomas Müller, blah, blah, blah. Email address from Peter is valid. Peter, blah, yeah. Now it's working. So we're gonna call this then in the constructor. We need a bool also then here, right? To say like bool valid. Validate, it's called, right? It's or valid. It should be also correct. Valid without any. Okay. And then we can set like valid to true. Correct. And we will have it in the beginning false. Otherwise it will be false. And then we could even make here an if check. This here is false or true, right? No. So this will be true. Check. I can use the valid, right? I can make another if statement after this thingy here. If they checked everything, this is finished. I can say, okay, if valid equal false, then please say start C out email address from first name is unvalid. And we can do this. Okay. So email address from Thomas is valid. Thomas Müller. Yeah. Thomas Müller, blah, blah, blah. Email address from Peter is valid. So, and what we can do now, we can just change it, remove it. And then we have email address from Thomas is invalid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So what, Ifo, what do you think about the solution? Is it good enough? So we have the problem, now I have to think about this. If we have that one, and we have only 3 elements here, what would happen? Someone else here? Are you happy with this implementation? I mean, this is really good for practice, to be honest, because what you can do, you could then make the rule of 5 out of this example with the extraction insertion operator. Really interesting. Lettermate, you said, I think you was it, right? Last time that I should do it like with the class. Because I had like the other implementation without the class. You said I should do it first with the struct or something, that I should define objects. Objects with the time, first name, last name, and with the email address. That will be my object. And then you said I should use for that an constructor, right? And that's my solution. Yes, but you are not really doing something with it, just storing the values. Do you want to compute anything on this data? No, you know the goal was like to check if the email address have an at. So if you have a better way to do it, I'm up to it. So I just defined here my check. I check on private. I'm gonna check it here. I have my bool valid. False. Then I have like my first name, last name, email address. I mean, this we can completely cut out. We don't need it anymore. I mean, for sure, what we could do, then we have to do rule of 5 if we want to use the insertion or the extraction operator. But then I have to do the full rule of 5 implementation, correct? Do you have maybe for this kind of problem your own ideas, guys, and we can go through over that in stream? So just programming it up really quickly. Maybe I can learn something from you. But I think I have to do something like this more often now. I have to practice more the rule of 5, right? That I'm getting used to it. Okay, it's not consistent. Okay. Can you give me an example code? Could you code it up really quickly and then we can go over that? We could also, if you want to, you can give me just a code review on Discord if you're up to that. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Give me a second. Okay. Here's the code. Hey, unkreative, aber geil. How are you doing? By the way, feel welcome to join here to make my code a little bit better. Yeah. Maybe, guys, I know maybe I should. How is the C++ journey going? To be honest, I don't know, last 2 days I feel like I'm not, I know I learned already a lot, but it seems like every time if I'm looking forward when I can produce something productive, I just realized how much I have still to learn in C++, and that is sometimes demotivating me. Is demotivating? Is this a word like in English? Demo. Demotivate. Yeah. Disencourage. You know what I mean? Like when I'm getting a value out of that. I mean, I could get already value out of that, but it seems like you have to learn so much. The question is even, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Probably productive-wise, it's not worth it, right? You know what I mean? Because you could just like learn Python or something like this, but I'm going for the harder route here, it seems. And I'm asking myself sometimes if what I'm doing actually makes sense. So maybe the last 2 days I'm trying to do every day a little bit programming now because it feels like I have to be really good in the rule of five things with the implementation. Because if I'm not using object-oriented programming, why I'm using then C++? Then I can just use C. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I have to learn to use the object-oriented programming future correctly. Otherwise, probably C++ make not that much sense. My job, I do like see 60% TypeScript, 30% Python, 10% Java, and I will probably never ever touch any C-like language. But Java can be also really special, right? Or am I wrong? It seems like if you want to get value out of C++, you have to spend so much time. And then you have to still have to be one of the best, kinda. I think there are not a lot of people that are really, really, really good in C++. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know that I know nothing. I can't even use streams, probably. You mean in C++ or what? Ah, okay. In Java. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So, the thing is... but I know how to code in general, and then I just Google. Yeah, I mean, if you're going for embedded system, you need like more knowledge. I have no clue. I have no clue. Probably if you also programming something like in PHP, you have more progress than in C++. I think you can have also like progress in C++, but I think you have to just hit the wall more often compared to other languages, and maybe there will be one day then you have like a breakthrough, and then you say, "Oh, this is such a nice language." but you have to practice also a lot. You have a lot of options, but not every option is like every time correct, right? It's then maybe better to use the other option. Open up the... Can I just open up the same link and you just change it? I think it's not working this way, right? Or am I incorrect? No, you have to send me the link. It's a different link. Where is... here. Sorry, I missed it. You want to give me a code review in Discord? Maybe you can explain it better to me, what you did actually. Okay. YouTube. So let's check what you did here. Okay, this is the same kind of. You have email data. Class email data, email data. Const, this is actually the same. Let me see. Yeah. Then you have first name. Okay, this is the same, and the check is also the same. Make it const. That makes sense because we're not gonna... Why should that be const? Because we're not gonna change anything, or why is it? What benefit I'm getting out of that? Not really a bug, but might be sometimes that should happen on an invalid email address. If valid, well, okay. Yes, you don't change anything in there, and making it const allows you to call it on a const object, which we do on the bottom. We're gonna check it to see what you changed here. I have this like completely differently, right? Different. Void print const. Okay, and then you have like just this check. Yeah, it makes sense. Then maybe inform the user that it was invalid. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to do it like this. This is the same. I'm seeing right now a mistake. No, this is also correct. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So unsigned, signed comparison. Okay, can you explain size t again? When I'm gonna use size t, maybe I should read it up. This is, you did like just size underscore t, unsigned, signed comparison before what? I can't read it. Before, okay. This is the same. Email address odx equals, okay. Is valid. Valid is true. Break, no need to do it multiple times. Yeah, that's performance-wise better. You could do it just, it's what returned by vector dot size. It's preferable to do loops with the type that you compare on. I not got it, man. So then we have here valid is false. Email address from first name is invalid. Okay. Here you do the print thing. Wait, am I have print? Yeah, I have. Okay. true. So, and here, a cleaner loop. Let me check. Wait, I tried it before and it not worked. Why this is now working? What is the reason why this is working now? Is it because of the const? Is this the reason? No. Huh? I mean, I tried it. Before you had a vector of strings that you inserted into an email thingy. Wait a second, but I mean, that would be not the raw data if you would read it in from, if you would implement it like a CSV file or something, you know what I mean? Because now you're just creating already this email data object construction via initializer list. Are you getting my point here? I'm getting it why you're doing that, but the string vector is not what happened when you do it with the CSV file parser. True also, right? I think you're correct here, because if I'm using the CSV file parser thing, I mean, I can handle the raw data how I want to handle I can handle the raw data in my defined way, so I could do it also the same way than here, right? So that would be not a problem. This is how you should do it while coding it directly into the binary, and what you were doing before as well. Wait, I'm still not getting it. Why? So before I had what? You said before I had like, but the string vector is also not what happened when you do it. Had a vector of strings that you inserted into the email thingy. You completely removed it. Now I have this object. But why can it iterate through my... Okay, this is working. Okay, makes sense. Okay, and then you have email.print. Okay, yeah. Completely get it why this is the cleaner method. It makes absolutely sense. I mean, it would be even... I mean, I have one question, because you could... what you could do? You could do something like... Right? And then you could say, okay... I have one question. Make it sense, the side hustle, what you have to do, that the operator overloading, because then you have to implement the rule of 5, right? Is it even worth it to do this kind of implementation then? Because what you can do, what you did actually, just with the email.print, right? And that's it. Yeah, true. I have only an operator overloading and not need a rule of 5. Do you need a lot of times rule of 5? Actually, Lettermate, I had to think yesterday about you. Well, it was today. I watched just a YouTube video about a physics student. And he just said, yeah, he have a lot of math and stuff like this, and a lot of programming involved, you know. Did you have to program a lot in your class? Yeah. But there are some rules when you have to implement, like, always like the rule of 5 or something. Oh, you only write like Python for your, okay. Ich spreche mal ganz kurz Deutsch, aber der Junge hat halt auch Astrophysik dann studiert. Master, weißt du? And I saw Trust the Code and it was in C++. Yeah, interesting, yeah. Yeah, maybe it makes... Maybe what I'm gonna do off stream here, like doing this, the same thing here again, and then I'm trying to do it with operator overloading, right? But this is like, yeah. I like this. This is cool. Give me please 6 minutes breaks. I have to get something to drink. Be right back.
Mucho cuidado.
What the heck? Let me what I have to say. I have a lot of respect about your field. I mean, I think you have to hustle a lot, right? The microphone working? Oh, should work, right? What should I do next? Switch to Rust. Should I do this? Nah, I think we should do one topic, right? A new topic. I think the last topic, what we did like before my exams, was like increment the overloading or something, right? What we did. Not finished the topic yet. Where is it? We did it already, like increment, decrement operators. I think we're not. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we finished it last time, but we're gonna do it this time. Are you ready? Overloading the increment and the decrement operators. Overloading the increment plus decrement minus operators is pretty straightforward, with one small exception. There are actually two versions of the increment and decrement operators. A prefix increment, a decrement, for example, plus x and minus. It's called y, right? Yeah. And postfix increment and decrement, for example, x semicolon y minus. Because the increment and the decrement operators are both unary operators, and we know what unary operators are, right? I have only one input. If I'm informed, yeah, it's only like kind of one input, right? It's unary. Unary operator, and they modify their operands. They are best overloaded as member function. We will tackle the prefix version first because they are the most straightforward. Overloading prefix increment and decrement. Prefix increment and decrement are overloaded exactly the same as any normal unary operator. We'll do this one by example. Okay, we have include, we have class digit, private. Why is private first? Then we have integer. Why has private first? This is this a new method to have private first? I don't know. It's kind of triggering me. So we have then digit. Okay, public. Okay, got it. Then we have this operator overloading plus minus, and then we have the friend. Oh yeah, that would be like a good relearning thing. Is when I have to use the friend. Maybe someone on chat know it. When you have to use the friend, when you have to use the member overloading method. Does someone know? Please let me know. What was it? There was a rule to it. Pretty sure about it. Do I have to check it up again when I have to use friend and when I have to use... Boys, please! Let me see. Where is it? Long time ago, we had this kind of topic. Where is it? Operators, arithmetic operator using friend function using normal function, and then we have input-output operators using member function. Comparison operator, was it this one? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was this one, right? Not everything can be overloaded as a friend function. Let's go over the topic quick again because I don't know it anymore. Here we go. What about the project where you're teasing us with? Yeah, I should start with the project, right? But I don't know if I should start with this server side tracking thing, or should I start with the repricer, or should I, or we continue with the CSV file parser? Because it's maybe I should first redo the CSV file parser, not redo it, but optimize it, not optimize it, like I want to do a license or something, right, on a MySQL database or something. Maybe I should finish the project with the CSV file parser first, right? And then we're doing something with a repricer, or I and even have no clue how should make a license. I mean, I could just do it like, but it would be easy, still easy hackable, right? You could just overjump the function or something if you do like reverse engineering. I don't know how to secure then the program itself. You know what I mean? Because you will have a statement. So if, for example, the subscription is valid or whatever, you could just overjump it if you could read the assembly code. That's probably the reason why we have today like so many web apps, right? What is most fun? To be honest, I don't want to say I'm like not motivated. I am, but it's like I just realized how long the journey will be. And it's still, I'm in the beginning, right? In the beginning phase. Yeah, yes, any sort of protection is nil if you provide a whole application to the user. But then you have kind of a problem, right? You have kind of a problem if you say you want to have it on web-based, because if you have web-based, you have, again, like problems with if your client using data, person-related data, then it's also, again, risky. Is it? I mean, if you have it on your server, yeah, it is always risky if something is on the web, because then it's hackable. And if it like the program is completely on the client side, then the user can hack your program, and you're getting nothing out of that. Not really, no. What do you mean, not really, no? Do you have maybe a good lecture? What should I read? Is there something for C++ how you can implement some licenses, or I don't know? If your server gets hacked, then you have a different problems. But for example, you're doing the CSV file parser thing, right? And I told you that is like you would have like PayPal data in it. So it makes no sense to use then a web application instead to do this kind of implementation, because then the company or whatever have to load in their data, and that could be really risky, right? Because then you would just pass the data through the server on the way. If something is going to happen and you would have a data leak, would be really bad. I don't know. You could use it with VPN. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could solve it with a VPN connection to. Yeah, that would. Ooh, that would be interesting. So you have like you have a VPN connection, and then you just request something, right? You're not doing it via the internet or something. So you're requesting this kind of data, and you're giving the server this kind of data, and it have to do something with the data. Ah, that would be a way. I don't know what you mean. Why would you host of the application provide stuff to use in the application? What do you mean? Now I'm getting not your point. I don't know what you mean. Why would the host of the application provide stuff to use in the application? No, maybe I described it a little bit wrong. Yeah, I think we're talking about different things. So if you have, for example, CSV file parser, and you just want to protect your program. So you said if it's on the client side completely, it makes no sense to do it like with a license, because it's easy to get hacked because of reverse engineering or whatever. But a web application is also kind of risky. I mean, you could do like a local. If you have a VPN connection, you can go for a local solution because VPN is kind of safe, right? We're talking about the CSV file parser. As the provider, okay. So mostly no. Nice. So really, VPN is not that safe? Oh, damn it. So how would you do the implementation if you want to protect, for example, your CSV file parser program? No, I think a good idea would be like, okay, someone can use the program for free for 3 months. Or it's checking always for the subscription, or you know what I mean? Yeah, the program itself, correct. You said if it's on the client side completely, even if you would check it with the database via internet, it's not gonna work. I mean, my idea for the solution would be like, or we would have like a, what we would have. Maybe even an API. No, it makes no sense, no API. Or maybe. And you would have like a key in the database, and then you would just check if this is a valid key, and if yes, you can use the program. One way to do it is absolutely safe to let the application be the server, so no client can do anything with it if they don't have the subscription. But then you have the problem with the data. So if we said like for the CSV file parser, what we programmed, right? We're adding the bill number and stuff like this. Then you have to send over this risky data about persons over to the server. You know what I mean? I don't know about this then. Yes, but the server can choose to not store any of it. But you're gonna store it temporarily. Or am I wrong? At least. Okay, then let's assume that if you would temporarily save the data, it would be okay. If you have it in the stack or whatever. What I have to know to make this kind of process? So the logic would be on the server. Everything would be on the server. But then the client have to do a call, correct? Or did the server have the connection will connect to the client? Or how is this going to work? I have no clue about the infrastructure. So yes, you do would do a post request or something similar. But if you're doing like a post request, right? You're doing a post request about the, for example, for the PayPal data, and then you're gonna send over the PayPal data. That's also kind of risky, right? Because it's like personal related data. Or is there a way around it? Just have a secure connection and it would be fine. Otherwise, PayPal itself would be dangerous to use. I mean, what you could do, I think this would be really interesting if you're making just... What you can do, you can make this two-factor authorization via PayPal, via API, and then it's like the same, it has the same safety, right? And it could read out the data via API. I mean, it's the same safety method then. That would be a solution, right? But what is a secured connection? What would be a secured connection? So you would send over the data, PayPal data, correct? And the computing stuff would happen on the server side, and then the server will send back the data. Okay, an encrypted connection, so like HTTPS connection. Okay. I mean, you could do it also via VPN, right? Hey, I'm here, second year engineer student who just finished the third semester a few days back. Good job, man. I'm from the electrical branch, but I do like to start coding from now onwards. At least, but not sure how to. So, what you learned in university? What programming language do you learn? Because sometimes you're learning C, sometimes you're learning Java in engineering. What I learned, yeah, it was Java most of the time. C++ and Python. Or What? In 2 semesters, C++ and Python. With what you started? What? No, it's on YouTube. By the way, that I made. So first semester was which programming language? Don't tell me that you started in the first semester with Python and then switched to C++. I mean, both thingies would be bad, right? Even if you would say you're starting with Python and then you're switching to C++ or C++ and Python would be also really weird. I started off with Python in the first semester. And then you shifted towards C++. Oh, okay. Okay, this is kind of special, but yeah, okay. One really good source if you want to really learn it. So, wow. I don't know what would be even a good advice, right? So what you, Lettermate, what would you say? Would you say, I would maybe say start with C and then go to C++ or stick to Python? Because if you have only 2 semesters in engineering or on programming, you're not learning that much programming. I mean, then even I learned more in programming in my engineering university stuff. Torch them, yeah, but it's still, it's... The problem is about C++ that, it's... you can write also C code in it, right? I mean, if you stay on C++ and say, okay, the C world is kind of not existing for you, the language doesn't matter. Yeah, but for example, Lettermate, if you're seeing then, if you have to, if you're just writing stuff for your own, then probably you're correct. But if you have to read up stuff from other people, or you have to use other libraries and you have no understanding about C, because maybe they're going to use print or they're going to use a C-style array. What is the difference? Or they're going to use, instead of size off, right? Or they're going to use the randomizer in C, but it's not really random, right? This with the modulo thing, modulo plus 1, to get a randomized number, first getting the seed out of that. Okay, my advice, if you want to learn C++, right? It depends what you want to do. If you want to learn C++, go here on Learn C++. And this source is kind of okay. You have a lot of sources in C++, they are not good. But this source is kind of okay. If you're going through this source, you can learn a lot. You have these bitwise operators and everything. Just start by one and go through these chapters. The best thing what you can do. Learn C++.com. But these are small differences that you may encounter even in a C++ environment. What do you mean with to master DSA? What do you mean with DSA? Do you know what he means with DSA? Data structure and algorithms. I mean, you can do it with Python, right? You can do it with C++. I would say even data structure and algorithm is not like... would you say it's like a programming language related thing? I would not say that, right? I mean, you could do this also like in Python. You not have to do it in C++. Is this correct what I said, Lettermate? I mean, if you want to learn like data structure and algorithm, you can program them also in Python. The advice what I can give you if you want to do like stuff in C or in C++, that you should really check carefully which kind of source you're gonna use, because there's a lot of misinformation out there in the web. So maybe it's even better to take a good book or something. Maybe there's better stuff in the Python world. I don't know, but I doubt it. I mean, there's a lot of really wrong stuff out there. Like how long will it take to learn them? I mean, it depends on how much data structure you want to learn, how much algorithm you want to learn. Do you find if you can handle the bubble sort, what you're not going to use? You have to learn about recursion. You have to learn about there are a lot of algorithm. But if you want to go for the standard things, you can learn it really fast. If you want to learn like the bubble sort, the quick sort, the merge sort, insertion sort, that's the standard ones, right? Did I miss some standard algorithm? I don't think so, right? Bubble sort, insertion sort, merge sort, and quick sort. But bubble sort you're not gonna use anymore, right? That's the thing is like 6 months. It depends how much time you're gonna spend also, right? Are you gonna spend like 2 hours per day? Are you gonna spend like 10 hours per day? Can I have your insider so I can connect you later on Coding Adopt? I mean, what you can do, you can just contact on my Discord if you want to. I don't know if I have it on my... wait, I can give you my Discord link. Give me a second. There are also some people in my Discord, they have a fair amount of knowledge in C++ and C. And if you have any question, you can... where is it? Invite people. Copy. Here we go. Heap sort, you missed out. Yeah, radic sort, heap sort, yeah. There we go. Wait, this should be also on YouTube. Yeah. So if you're like in the C++ environment, there are a lot of people that are probably going to help you in my Discord if you have their question. If you want to have a code review or something. But in 6 months, you can learn a lot. I don't know if I would switch up that often languages, to be honest. I would just stick to one language. I would just stick to C. And to be honest, a lot of people in university, if you're learning C++, most of the time in university it's just C, and they're not using that much on C++ features. Okay, so lettermate, back to my topic here. Maybe I should start next time to just to program, start with my CSV file parser thing, and we're going quick over the topic. Where is it? We had this one, right? Where's the other topic? Give me a second. Oh, by the way, Monish, there are also some code example in my Discord. So, class header file, where is it? But you already had those topics. Look at them again when you need them. Otherwise, you will forget it. I'm trying to repeat it, like the topics. What I want to look up again, I asked it last time when I have to use the friend thingy and when I have to use the member thingy, right? If I want to do this operator overloading thing. It has something to do. I'm just gonna want to read it up quick again. I mean, it's not that much. Should be not that much. Wait, where is it? It was this here. Operators using member function, right? It's not huge. So we're going through this topic quick again. I'm just gonna repeat it. But you're completely right. I should program a little bit also more. I'm trying to program every day, and I wanna, what I did today, the programming, what we did today. I want to do it with the rule of 5 or something, right? That I'm just getting better to use the C++ features here. The problem is that whenever you write things, you never use any of it. And that's not completely correct, man. Because I'm doing it sometimes upstream. You also know that I did this Sven string thing, right? But you would say you're correct. I'm not redoing them enough, right? It's not enough if I'm doing it like in one day. Actually, I have to repeat it more often. Yeah, I can share this I can share the, no problem. I really like this source, to be honest. Good source. There are a lot of bad sources out there, so. But this is good. Hey chat, how you doing? But the Sven string was exercise on the class already, but you wouldn't ever touch the class keyword if it's not specifically mentioned in your task. What do you mean? But the Sven string was an exercise on a class already. But you never ever touch the class keyword if it's not specifically mentioned in your task. So you mean if I have another task, I could also use it? So you mean I should mix up more stuff? What I already had, or what? I mean, what is your conclusion? Okay, let's go over this topic: overloading operating using member functions. I mean, you should just write stuff to get something done, and on that journey, choose the things you need without people needing tell you that you can use it. And the thing is also, I did already in the past some stuff. I did like the MySQL database connection. If you would just ask me now in the moment, please do it again. Rewrite it. I would not able to do it because I not have to I not have enough practice for that. You just have to practice more. But you're correctly right. You already heard of most things before. Now it's time you need to apply them. You mean I have to practice, right? Just have to practice. Practice, apply the stuff what I learned. That's fine, but I'm 90% sure that you didn't create anything custom in that. About abstraction further. I'm not getting this point. I mean, I'm starting already if I'm using something like the swap thing, what we did back then, that I just checked up how a swap is actually working, that it's gonna use that move on something like this. Okay, I want to get some stuff done, so I want to relearn this quick again. When I have to use it has something to do with right side, right and left side, something like this. I don't know. Let me read it up again. So overloading operators using member function. The library probably did something like SQL connection, and then you can do stuff with that, but you wouldn't pack that into some sort of state that gets transformed over the lifetime. Yeah, you're correct. And back then I just used this stuff and not really understood it. That's also another topic, right? In lesson 21.2, overloading the arithmetic operator using friend function, you learned how to overload the arithmetic operator using friend function. You also learned you can overload operators as normal function. Many operators can be overloaded in a different way as a member function. Actually, I really like sometimes to redo topics, because sometimes you're just realizing that you just overjumped something and not really understood it. Overloading operators using a member function is very similar to overloading operators using a friend function. When overloading an operator using a member function, the overloaded so now we have this. I don't know. Maybe I should do have to. You know, sometimes for everyone is it like differently. Sometimes you can just. What is the correct English name? Memorize? Is it like memorize some stuff easier? Sometimes you have with some parts like problems. And maybe I should write down the parts what I'm forgetting more often, right? That I can just relearn this kind of parts every day. Maybe I should do that. For example, I can do it like for this now. Member function, right? Overloading and operating using a member function. And then I can just write down these quotes and read it like up every day. Maybe I should do something like this. I think learning-wise it would be way better. I don't know. The overloaded operator must be added as a member function of the left operand. You see, that's... Got it. This was this with the left operand. Yeah, it has something to do with the left operand and with the right operand. The left operand becomes the implicit, this object. All other operands becomes function parameters. So again, overloading an operator using a member function is very similar to overloading an operator using a friend function. When overloading an operator using a member function. So we gone overload operator must be added as member function of the left operand. Okay. Or you could write something, and whenever you think maybe overloading would help in this case, read up on it and use it. Yeah, the thing is, you know, for exams and stuff like this, I have no opportunity to read something up. You know, the exams what I have, there was no paper allowed. It was actually nothing allowed. By the way, 0x29. Hello, mate. How you doing? As a reminder, here's how we overload operator plus using a friend function. Why is using private first? Okay, private, and we have msend. I remember that I had such a problem to understand this. So we have send, int send, and so on. Overload send plus int, friend send. So we have this one here. Yeah, okay. And we're gonna overload it. No, this function is not a member function. Yeah. So... Yeah, I'm completely on one line here with you. You're 100% correct. That's why I did like the task today. Did I, I had like another solution for the problem with this email check thing. And you just said, okay, why are you not doing it with your own object? And I was like, oh, yeah, fair enough. And yesterday I just sit down and try to program it, and I reprogrammed it today a little bit differently, and yeah, it worked out. I think I have to practice more. have to think, okay, is there maybe a better method what I could use with my knowledge, what I have already? Because I have a lot of tools and I have to use the tools, right? So what is your next project? Next project will be my CSV file parser, and we're trying to make the license thing so that I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Send operator plus constants. Okay, this is what we have here. So converting a friend overloading operator to a member of overloading operator is easy. License thing, yeah, that we have a client and we have a server. So the client is gonna do a request to the server and send over then the data from the PayPal file to the server, and the server is gonna do this CSV file parser thing and gonna send over the modified CSV file back to the client. And I think that will be a lot of work. I don't know. It sounds already like really terrible to do it in C++, but maybe it's easy. I don't know. I don't know. I think it will be interesting. Converting a friend overloading operator to a member overloading. If you were actually serious with that, yeah, I'm serious. We're gonna do it. we are going to do it. Converting a friend overload operator to a member overload operator is easy. The overload operator is defined as a member instead of a friend. Client sends CSV file data, but it has to be safe, right? Because it's like personal related data. So if you're gonna transfer something to the server, it has to be safe. Or can we do something that the server can just read the data and have the data only temporarily stored? Probably this is also possible. Okay, you want security, so it will need to be cryptographically secured. Yeah, and please write all the topics what I have to know for that in my Discord. And probably it will be completely overkill, but yeah, we're gonna do it. I mean, Lettermate said it's enough if I'm gonna do it via HTTPS. Maybe I can just use the library for that. So that I not have to program everything from scratch. Only if you want to that I should do it. Well, an OpenSSL. Okay. Gonna write it down. So the first goal would be like that we could have a connection, right? So we have it will. I need different goals. I have to break them down, the full project, in small goals. Otherwise, it will be too overwhelming, probably. If you try to develop your own, no, I'm not gonna do it. You're stupid. Would you say I would stupid? And if I would do it and it would work, then you would say I'm brilliant, right? Brilliant and stupid. Okay, let's keep doing it. Yeah, the overload operator is defined as a member instead of a friend. Send scope operator plus instead of a friend operator. Okay. The left parameter is removed because that parameter now becomes the implicit this object. The left parameter. It's called parameter, right? It's my favorite word.
Parameter.
Is removed. Yeah. So it's removed because that parameter now becomes the implicit this object. Inside the function body, all references to the left parameter can be removed. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to read this up. So now we're doing the same thing. And we're going to remove send m. Okay, I should compare a little bit more. Oh, interesting. All references to the left parameter can be removed. Sense.mSense become mSense, which implicitly refers to references this object. Yeah, we not have this anymore. Ah. All reference to the left parameters can be removed. What is left parameter? Do you even remember what a protected access specifier means in the context of classes? Do you even remember what the protected access specifier means in the context of a class? You mean the friends thing or what? Yeah, I know that I have private and public. So outside of the class, if it's like private, I will not have access to that thingies. But if I'm using friend, I can use it. Ah, that makes sense. That's why I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, and if I have a member thingy, I can just say int value. But it's public, right? This is also public. That's private. That's also private. Do you remember what protected does? Ah, we have an. Oh, that's a long time ago. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We have also protected. No, there are several ones. We have private, public, and there was something else, right? Correct? There was also something like, yeah. So what was protected? Like I can read it, but I can't change it. Man, that's like 4 months ago or something, right? Whoosh. Whoosh. No, what was protected? I'm mixing something up here. Yeah, laugh about me. Yeah. So we have private, public, Galaxy Unpacked. Ja, ja. Ja, Dankeschön. Dankeschön, Jungs. Vielen, vielen Dank. Thanks a lot. Ja, ja, ja. Why you came up with this protected thing? I mean, I have here the answer. Why have to... So, private members are only accessible within the class defining them. Protected members are accessible in the class that defines them and in classes that inherit from that class. Wait, when was the last time where I did like inheritance and stuff? Yeah, you know when I started to do inheritance, right? Wait 1 second. I did like this. Oh, why it's now fucked up, man? I did this inheritance stuff, and then and with the whittle stuff, and then I just realized that I have no knowledge at all, and then I just started with this learn CPP plus com, right? So. Oh no! Come on, guys! No! We're going back to the pure virtual function thing. We're gonna do it. I have to redo it completely because I'm still missing. There are a lot of practice to do this. You just want to troll me here. I know. Yesterday, back then, I just jumped too fast into the topic. Nobody just reads. No, operating overloading, I'm not getting forget that fast. Willst du mal Hallo sagen? Wo sind wir denn hingehen hier? Haben wir nicht mal angefangen, richtig? Nee. Ja, da haben wir noch 2 Stunden. Nein! Nein, ich bleib nicht im Keller. Nein. Was ist los? Nö. Nee. Ich mache jetzt noch kurz das Topic, noch 20 Minuten, dann... Ja, okay. Ja, machen wir. Nicht die Kamera berühren. So, why are we back at it again? Die sagen immer, ich lese zu viel und Practice nicht genug. So wie immer meinst du, Dankeschön. Bis gleich, Schnucki. Ich will keine Suppe. Okay. So why are we okay? Can we read this again, please? Thanks a lot. I mean, real talk, guys. Are you using by the on the daily base the rule of 5 with the move semantics and stuff like that? I mean, you have so much in C++. You're not gonna use it every day. It's not rule of 5. What do you mean it's not rule of 5? It's rule of 7 or what? Can we go through this topic quick again? But it's called rule of 5. Pretty sure about this. Why rule of 7? Because I did it multiple times before. So can I redo this and can ask you some question if I'm not understanding something? So Would be that okay? Can we agree about that? Just want to look it up again. So I just realized if I'm doing this thing, that I have integer value, and here I have constant sense. Why not needed? Wait, I'm a little bit confused here. Okay, we have here friend. It's outside of the class. Wow. It seems like I have to read the friend thing completely again. A CSV parser is too difficult for you at this moment in time. Yeah, what should I develop then? Why is my CSV file parser too difficult? I mean, I finished it already, correct? I have Twitch chat. It would not pass any code review. Then help me. Then we should, yeah, okay, then we could, do you know what we could do? I could, because it's 2-3 months ago, I did the CSV file parser, really in the beginning, right? After 1.5 month after my, in my C++ journey. So what I could do, I could try to make it better with my current knowledge, to try to implement the stuff what I should know by now. No, the problem here is what I'm just realizing, why I have to have the reference to sense, and I not need it in the member function. The old operator is defined as a member instead of the friends, blah, 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 blah. The left parameter is removed because the parameter now becomes the implicit this. Inside the function body. Inside the function body, where's the... Okay, where I have it? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not reading it correctly. Let me see. Do we have it here maybe then? What I'm missing? Do we have it here then, right? That's the reason. That's why we not need that one, or what? Yeah. Wait, that's the reason, right? No. Because I can do actually something with the CSV file parser thing, right? I want to just produce something that is kind of practical for me. Even if it's harder, you know? I'm not struggling right now with the syntax. What I'm not understanding why the implementation right now is differently. Now the same overload using a member function method. Function member is a member function. The send parameter is a friend version. Is now the implicit this parameter. The sends parameter in the friend version is now the implicit. Ah. I think I got it. I got it. You don't know about lexing? You don't even understand the concept how a parser should work? Okay, then let me know. What I have to know how a parser should work? I mean, my parser is working, right? It is working. Can't say it's not working. I'm getting a result. Probably it's not the correct way. So now that the usage of operator does not change in both cases, since with tokens in lexical analysis phase. But why you not told me back then? So I could just read about this topic and learn about it. It's not the most simple topic. And why you have to use it for the parser? What is the benefit? I mean, my stuff is also working, right? What is the benefit if you're gonna use the technique what you just said? What kind of benefit I'm getting out of that? This is a real parser. Yeah, but okay, what kind of benefit you're getting from a real parser? Okay, maybe I'm just used the wrong word for my project. Or are you gonna actually use this method, what you described or mentioned? If you want to do something, what I did. The thing what I did, are you gonna use the real parser for that? Yes or no? Okay, so I should just change the naming about my project because it's not really a CSV file parser, right? What would be then a better naming for it? Because I don't want to be. I can really understand that some people getting triggered if I'm just using the wrong names, because even I getting triggered if someone saying it's like that and they're using wrong names. So I completely can understand that. Plus, call me out for that, and I'm gonna just change the project name. Well, a parser is what transforms tokens into a hierarchy or hierarchy. What is this? A lexical analyze is not required for a parser. It's not necessarily correct. Okay, we have a deep talk again. I will just gonna rename my project. I'm just gonna rename it to modify a PayPal file. Mod PayPal or something. That's it. So then we have no naming issues here. So note that the usage of the operator does not change in both cases, since 1 plus 2 were simply defined the function differently. Our two parameters friend function becomes a 1 parameter member function, with the leftmost parameter in the friend version sense becoming the implicit this parameter in the member function version. Okay, got it. Let's take a closer look at how the expression sense 1 plus 2 evaluates. In the friend function version, the expression sense 1 plus 2 becomes function call operator plus sense 1, 2. Note that there are two function parameters. This is straightforward. Lexical analysis for CSV parser is definitely over-engineered, but the term parser generally means it has lexical analysis. Yeah, then the naming is just wrong. Thanks a lot for calling it out. I'm going to change it. This is straightforward. COX29, you got a new job, right? If I'm informed correctly. You said like you last time you just waited for a new job. In the member function version, the expression sense 1 plus 2 becomes function called sense 1 dot operator plus 2. Note that there is now only one explicit function parameter. And sense 1 has become an object prefix. It's so interesting. I did this topic, but now I have to understand. I have like the feeling that back then I not 100% understood it. You know, I just overread a lot of stuff. I know that there is now only one explicit function parameter, and since 1 has become an object prefix. However, in lesson 15.1, the hidden this pointer in member function chaining, we mentioned that the compiler implicitly converts an object prefix into a hidden leftmost parameter named this. So in actually sense 1 dot operator plus 2 becomes operator okay. Which is almost identical to the friend version. Oh yeah. Are you happy with your job, by the way? Both cases produce the same result, just slightly different ways. So if we can overload an operator as a friend or member, which should we use? In order to answer that question, there are a few more things you will need to know. Not everything can be overloaded as a friend function. The assignment equals subscript angle brackets function call, I don't know how to call this, and member selection. This is like the arrow operator must be overloaded as a member function because the language requires them to be. What? You can even overload this thingy? Wow, that's crazy. Not everything can be overloaded as a member function. In lesson 20.21.4, overloading an input-output operator, we overload the operator. It was insertion operator, right? For our point class. Using the friend function method. Here's a reminder how we did that. Guys, do you know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna buy a book about C++, and I'm just gonna read every day a little bit about the topic again. There's so much to know. I don't know if it's even worth it. You know what I mean? If you want to be really productive, I don't know. If you have to know like everything really precisely. Is it called precise? For our point class using the friend function method, here's a reminder of how we did that. We have that one, then we have ostream, out, const, point. Okay. Yeah, I remember. You have to use this for that, yeah. This member function, you could modify it with the friend. You were not able to do it. Something like that it was, right? However, we are not able to overload operator as a member function. Why not? Because the overload operator must be added as a member of the left operand. The member of the left operand. In this case, the left operand is an object of type std ostream. Std ostream is fixed as a part of the standard library. We can't modify it. Yeah. The class declaration to add the overload as a member function of the std ostream. So if we can just say, if you have something that is not able to be modified because it's just defined this way, on the left side, we're just going to use the friend thingy, correct? Otherwise, we're going to use the member thing. We can't modify the class declaration to add the overload as a member function of the std ostream output stream. This necessitate, how this is called again?
Necessitate.
Necessitate that operator insertion be overloaded as a normal function preferred or friend. Normal function preferred or friend. Similarly, although we can overload operator plus sends, int as a member function as we did above. We can't overload operator plus int send. As a member function, because int isn't a class we can add members to. Yeah. Typically, we won't be able to use member overload if the left operand is either not a class, for example, integer, or it is a class that we can't modify. When to use a normal friend or member function overload? You wanna just. Yeah. Not gonna pronounce it, man. I mean, CUX29. What is your native language? What is your native language? English. Maybe we should do a challenge. We're gonna switch. Both of us is just gonna learn a new programming language. I'm gonna learn it in English, and you have to learn it in German. Yeah, I know. But thanks a lot for calling me out because I'm trying to get better, but I know that my English sucks, right? So I really know. I wish my English could be better, but it is what it is. Some people would know now, would just say it would be already enough if your programming skill would be better. English is a weird language. German is, the thing is, I sometimes have the feeling even German is like kind of weird, you know? Like, my English is not good enough. It's so bad, though. It's so bad. Sometimes, if I have to hear me speaking English, it's so terrible. Where is it? Now we're gonna, where was it? This year. Yeah, but the German language got like modified so other people can learn it better. So, but this is also kind of problematic because now some stuff make no sense. Because back then it was like, you have like a rule and then you know, okay, you have 2 words and you have something like, you know always that it will be 1 word or it will be like 2 words. And nowadays it can be only 1 word or it can be 2 words or it can be only 1 word or it can be only 2 words, you know? And that make no sense sometimes. If you, yeah, Soße mit 2 S, genau. It make no sense. And the thing is, I learned back then, and that was really bad. I learned back then the old German style, and then we have the first modification about the language. I have to learn that, and then we have another modification, and then I was like, okay, fuck this language. Like, seriously, you know, every time I have to relearn everything, it make no sense. I mean. And you have to know that the first 3 years in my life I was not able to hear or not properly, so it was even harder for me to learn German. I remember back then I was kind of good in math. I have like always the grade 1 or 2, something like this, and then I think in the 3rd class or something, right? Or the 2nd class, you're getting like this text exercises. So math combined with language. And my grade from 1 to changed up to 5. Because I was not able, I don't know what the teacher want from me, you know? So it was so terrible. I got so angry. Or Fußball. Football, right? Lettermate. Fußball. Mit 2 S. Auch richtig geil. Fußball. Hey, man, ey. Ich werd nicht mehr, ohne Scheiß. Deutsche Sprache, Mann. Sasse. Ist so schlimm. When to use a normal friend or member function overload. In most cases, the language leaves it up to you to determine whether you want to use the normal friend or member function version of the overload. However, one of the two is usually better choice than the other. When dealing with binary operators that don't modify the left operand, this is really interesting if you're using binary operators, because I did a lot of binary operator thing for my exams. Okay, G, good luck with your coding journey. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. What are you programming, by the way? Are you a programmer? You hoop? Are you? When dealing with binary operators that don't modify the left operand, for example, operator plus, You're not gonna modify the left one, right? Because it's an unary, correct? Plus was unary. Yeah, it was a unary. Wait, am I mixing up? It was unary, right? The normal or friend function version is typically preferred because it works for all parameter types. Nothing professional. Coding is hobby for me. Yeah, it's cool to have it as a hobby, right? Because it works for all parameter types, even when the left operand isn't a class object. By the way, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Wish you a nice evening. Plus is unity. So plus is unity. Plus is binary, and yeah, you're right. Plus is unary. True. But Lettermate, why you learned so much like about programming? I mean, you're not needed for university, right? Is your studying stuff not too hard? Do you have so much free time? The normal or friend function version is typically preferred because it works for all parameter types, even when the left operand isn't a class object or is a class that is not modifiable. The normal or friend function version has the added benefit of symmetry, as all operands become explicit parameters instead of the left operand becoming this and this right operand becoming an explicit parameter. When dealing with binary operators that do modify the left operand, for example, operator plus equal, the member function version is typically preferred. In these cases, the leftmost operand will always be a class type, and having the object being modified become the one pointed to by this is natural, because the rightmost operand becomes an explicit parameter. There is no confusion over who is getting modified and who is getting evaluated. Unity operators are usually overloaded as member function as well. Huh, why? Since the member version has no parameters. Okay. Dude, that's funny. Sometimes you're reading up and have actually more knowledge, but it's getting even more confusing. Does this make sense? The following rules of thumb can help you determine which form is best for a given situation. So if you're overloading assignment equals subscribe angle brackets function call brackets or member selection. How I'm gonna call this one? Arrow or what? Or pointer? I don't know. How to call this, guys? Need your help. Do so as a member function. If you're overloading a unary operator, do so as member function. If you're overloading a binary operator that does not modify its left operand, operator plus, do so as normal function preferred or friend function. If you are overloading a binary operator that modifies its left operand, but you can't add members to the class definition of the left operand, then you're gonna use... Wait, what? For example, operator insertion, which has left operand of the type ostream. Do so as normal function preferred. What? Oh, but it's a binary, right? Okay. Makes sense. You can't add members to the class definition of the left operand. Wow, I'm getting more and more confused here. If you're overloading a binary operator that modifies its left operand, operator plus equal, and you can modify the definition the left operand. So you have always, like, if you have binary, you're just going to use always like this normal function thing, right? For the overloading. And if you can't modify the left side, if you have an object or an integer or whatever, you're going to use the friend thing. I have one question, guys. Are you reading some stuff also up? Or you just know all these things? How is it for you? I mean, probably if you keep repeating these things, probably you not have to read it up again. Of course, we read up on stuff, but it usually takes like 1 minute max. So the time will get less, right? After you keep repeating the stuff, because it's like, I know, I remember. It's like, I forgot about this topic, and then it's just gonna, yeah. Probably you just know, okay, there was a topic, and then you're reading up, okay, it was this, right? Probably like that. That you're probably not 100% sure how it was, and you're just checking it. Okay, it was this. Okay, I was right. I was incorrect or something. Just mix something up. Gib mir noch 2 Minuten, bitte. I don't read complete articles for these sorts of things. I look at internal usage and some pitfalls maybe, and then straight away go for it. True, you could just go for the logic, right? You can say, okay, if I have an object on the left and I can modify it, I'm going to use the friend thingy. No. And then I'm going to use a normal function thingy. If it's not modifiable or it's an integer or whatever, then I'm gonna use... What I said? Wait. Okay, I'm trying it again. Listen. It's the left side, an object, and it's not modifiable. Then I'm gonna use a friend function for overloading. Otherwise, I'm gonna use a member function. And binaries, I'm gonna use always a normal function, a member function for the overload. But I could use also a friend function. I mean, it's not that complicated, but yeah. But if you want to, yeah. So much to learn in C++. This is insane. I mean, you not have to probably not have to know everything like really in depth. I think we're gonna call it for today. And tomorrow I have to check because I have a meeting. I have to do something for my business. And if I have time left, we're gonna do some programming probably tomorrow. I don't know what should I program. We're doing the CSV file thingy, right? We're doing the CSV file parser. What is actually not the CSV file parser by definition. I don't know where I should start. I have to do first some research. So tomorrow then probably some research things. Do you have maybe some source? Maybe I should start also with lead code or something just for practice. I don't know. I need more practice. Is there maybe a website where I could just practice more the stuff? Like, you know, with the friend function thing, with, I don't know. I need some more exercises. That I'm getting faster, you know what I mean? So if guys, if you have some exercises for me, feel free just to post it in my Discord. Because I have to practice a little bit more. Or if you have any advice for me, let me know, please. So thanks a lot for watching my stream today. Thanks a lot for the support. And I wish you a nice evening. I'm out. Kek 7.